that I want to talk about is why do Black women feel unprotected? And not just only unprotected, but why do they feel they have to be the strongest amongst all other races? So let me get some feedback from anyone. How y'all feel about
So
that?
I'll start. And so, culturally speaking, for those who are listening, the three ladies in the podcast are South African women, myself included, obviously. And so, the first thing is we, on a technicality, did not grow up Black. So, a race group, a race class, which is very different to the Black culture, is called colored. It's actually a race class, it's not a derogatory term as you guys may perceive it. And how from my perception, how we were raised and what we were exposed to is a lot of single mothers in the colored community, whether it was a grandmother taking care of the children or the mother or the child's mother taking care of the child. A lot of children were raised by single mothers, and I think that's one of the first reasons a Black woman, a colored woman, didn't feel protected, because they had to fend for themselves and they had to fend for their children while fending off an abusive husband or an abusive father, even in the home, and working hard because there was nobody else to help financially and to provide for the children and to make sure there's a roof over the children's heads and their own heads, the clothing, the school fees, because schooling is not free in South Africa. So there are school fees from elementary all the way up to high school. And then, of course, tertiary education as well. The fees are even more there. So I think from that perspective, from what I've seen growing up, that's one of the reasons that Black or colored women feel unprotected and as if they have to be stronger than any other races.
I think to add to that, you look at the fact that Black girls are sexualized a lot earlier than their counterparts. So they're seen as adults far sooner than, any other race. And so as a result, that little girl is exposed to elements of being an adult far sooner. And so very quickly they realize that, even if, like, for instance, you're growing up with a single mother and you are a Black or colored girl child, you then realize that you have to be independent far sooner than your counterpart. And it's about, it's about the historical background as well as the just the socio-economic circumstances, because where colored people or colored people in South Africa and Black people in America are similar is that we are a minority class. And so we don't have the same access as literally any other race, and we're looked down on as gangsters and that kind of thing, and even females are seen as being threatening. So the same way that, like, someone will look at a Black man in a hoodie and be like, oh, this is a threatening individual, a colored woman has that same stigma. And I think Black women in the United States have that same stigma. So if we get emotional, we're seen as being aggressive. If we defend ourselves or if we stand up for ourselves, it's seen as a negative behavior versus what it actually is, which is I'm saying my piece, I am defending myself, and we're always told to calm down all the time. Like, I think over there as well as here, like the minute you raise your voice or you challenge something, it's like, calm down, calm down. And it's like, but why? I need to, because if I don't stand up for myself, who will? And that's very much the mentality I think that we share across the continent.
I just want to shake the tables here a little bit. I have a very unpopular opinion. I don't think Black or colored girls speak about their mothers being the first point of not feeling safe. And, it's weird to say because we never challenge the matriarch in the family. But having observed or having experienced the type of language my mother used when she spoke to me, when she was correcting behavior with physical methods, That was my first point of not feeling safe. Second of all, the choices I observed, not just my mother, but the strong woman or the perceived strong woman in my family make, and seeing what the outcome of those choices were, and then being children in that situation, so ultimately collateral. And there you go. From that point, my safety was always questioned because it was like, what did I just observe? But you can't verbalize it because you're so young, so you don't know how to articulate it and bring it over. That's just my unpopular opinion.
I'm gonna say this. As far as black women feeling unprotected, I just remember to a certain extent growing up and noticing how certain women would raise their daughters. A lot of times it wasn't fathers in the household, and the little girls were taught to be strong at a age where they were just learning how to talk, but they were always told to be strong, be strong. And it's to where you don't need this man, you don't need this person, you don't need them, be strong. And I feel like a lot of American women, what they do, a lot of, where that, a lot of black African American women in America, what they do, they hear this from a young age and it's embedded in their brain to where I'm going to go to college, I'm going to do this, I'm going to be my own boss. And they put everything, I mean, as far as they don't need this person, they don't need that. And to where a lot of men would just be like, okay, you got it, you know? Um, at least to some point, that's how I feel. I've seen a lot of women like that growing up where I'm from. Oh, I don't need no man. I don't need this. I can handle my own. Okay, no problem. We'll let you do that. So when this person comes at you, why didn't you protect me? Well, you said you had it. So I walked away, or whatever the case may be. But it's definitely a topic to where, is that what every black woman in America? No. But a lot of the ones who I've run across, that seem to be the case. Even when you say good morning to them, or good morning, Queen, how you doing? Good morning. They give you the screw face. Like, oh, I got a boyfriend, this and that, blah. And it's like, whoa, I just said good morning to you. Calm down. And they have such an aggressive tone, such an aggressive aura about them. So that's just how I feel, and that's why I feel like a lot of brothers in the states just kind of throw up their hands when it comes to black women because of how they react or how they come across people. Randy, what do you think about it?
I think I have to agree with Janelle. I think Janelle and Jordan's touched on this. I believe that black women, um, I think they feel unprotected because the men that are supposed to be protecting them are unprotected, right?
Mm.
And so black men, we deal with the school to prison pipe system. We deal with systemic racism, things like that, and we have no control over some of the things that other races have control over. And so we are considered a threat to society. We are considered to be aggressive, and when we do show emotion and things like that, um, then we're acting out. And I think we're one of the most misunderstood races of people as well. So I do believe that is the reason why. If the person who's supposed to be protecting you is unprotected, then of course you're gonna feel unprotected. So that's my belief. But
So
I'm
I'm
not.
My
So